Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to chair yoga. We're going to start just in our chair, sitting down and kind of getting our transitional um, exercises, if you will, bringing ourselves into this changing of the gears as we move into our practice. So sit nice and tall, get your feet to the floor. Start to use what you would consider your, good posture. So you're lifting up through the chest and bringing yourself into a position squarely seated where you feel the balance of your pelvis. And let's get into a deeper breath practice. I think those are really a great technique for grounding ourselves and transitioning ourselves. So it's not new to you. I think I'm going to make a little different reference this time, but I think you'll be familiar with it right away. The reference points is 3 point. It's a 3-part inhale. It's a 3-part breath. So it starts at the pubic bone. So I want you to just find the pubic bone in your body, the very, very base of the abdominal wall. There's the pubic bone. So it's a bony reference in the front body. So you're going to start your inhale at the pubic bone, come to the very base of your sternum, that xiphoid process, right at the solar plexus area, and then finally the collarbone. So it's breathing in from the pubic bone, breathing more here, and breathing all the way up into the collarbone, and then just hold that breath and let that breath come all the way out. And then start again, 3-part breath. So it's just really going to reinforce your strong inhalation process and help you to feel what the exhalation feels like in your body as you let go of all of that you just took in. So let's close the eyes. If you haven't done that already, close your eyes now. And it's recommended even to follow that breath. Maybe you bring your hand to your body and you're just following yourself up so you can really be aware of the breath flowing like that. It's inhale, inhale more, inhale again, a brief pause, exhale it all the way out. Eyes are closed. We're transitioning now into our practice today. If your exhale is coming out of your mouth, just make it a sip, kind of like you were blowing out a candle. You can breathe out of your nose, that's fine too. Be aware of the expansion that you're inviting into your body. Followed by release. And don't overthink it. What am I releasing? What's this deal? Think of expansion followed by release. Stay with it for a couple more breaths. Eyes closed, just feel the expansion as you do the 3-part inhalation. Release it out. Go back for more. Now continue to hold your body in that upright position. That feels real good in terms of your posture, but flutter your eyes open now, maybe getting used to your environment, getting ready for the movement, but not quite there yet. Turn your palms up on your lap and invite in, with that gesture of receptivity, we can invite in what our particular intention is for today. And I'm going to start with a reading. Maybe that will help give you some focus. Eyes open or closed. I just wanted you to have an opportunity to adjust to the light. So if you like to set your intention and you have your eyes closed, of course, you do what you need to do. I've been reading from the Melody Beattie book, Journey to the Heart. Today's reading was, I thought, just right for us. And so it is entitled Value Your Connection to Truth. Trust what you know, not what you think you know, but what you know in your heart. We often know the truth long before we let ourselves see and believe it. long before we're ready to acknowledge it. For many reasons, fear, timing, and a myriad of issues too long to list, we ignore and discount what we know in our heart. But the truth doesn't go away. What's true, what we know to be true, will nag at us and haunt us. And even if we try to run from that truth, our experiences will ultimately lead us back to it. Life may bring us many issues we want to run from, issues that are a challenge. But the real challenge we face is learning to trust ourselves and trust what we know to be true. Maybe someone once told us we couldn't be trusted. That's too bad. But what's worse is that we began to believe it and started to tell ourselves that too. Your heart can be trusted. Don't doubt it. It will inevitably connect you to what's true. Love yourself enough to trust what you know, then stay connected to truth. So I'm going to resituate myself into the chair. Actually, we're going to start standing up. So I'm resituating myself to stand up with you. So when you're ready, join me in a standing position. Let's get some distance between the feet. Make sure your feet are straight. You don't want heels in and toes out. You want your feet to be parallel to each other. And I want you to start moving your body weight from one foot to the other. So you're just shifting body weight, hands at the waist. Just find the rhythm of your breath, its natural rhythm as you're just shifting body weight. And you want to feel that imprint from foot to foot and feel how you're strengthening and becoming more aware of the strength in your ankle and your feet. Let's see if we can add a balance that when you shift, you're actually lifting the other foot up off the floor. So start to see about balancing ever so slightly, lifting one foot off the floor. And you know your chair is right there. So if you know you feel better if you're going to have your chair right there, then please do that. Let's lift and hold, lift and hold. See if you can get your foot a little bit higher. See if you can do it without the use of the chair, but it's, it's not a problem if you need the chair. Both feet to the floor. We'll shift and hold now. We've got one foot up in the air, holding. Excellent. And both feet on the floor now. Make sure your feet are straight, just feeling that straight feet. And then let's start with our circular movement. It's kind of like hula hoop. So you're really moving your pelvis all around. It requires some bend in the knee. You cannot possibly do this without buoyancy in the knees. So give yourself all the movement through the knees that you need to, and get your hips moving in a circular way. Stay with the same direction. Find your circle and stay with it. Try to exaggerate the movement. And upper body is pretty stationary. There's not a lot of movement in the shoulders, not movement in the head and neck. It's hips. It's all the hips and, the buoyancy of the legs to support that. Let's change the direction of that circle. Make sure you're all caught up with your breathing. You got nice flow and rhythm of breath going right now. There's a lot of times when I'm going to move around that you don't need to. So just be reminded, when I start to move around, that's not asking you to. I'll be very specific about your movement, okay? Hands are going to come to the thighs now. So we've got our hands above the knees, and we're creating that extension of the spine that we call cow pose. So I want you to feel the arch of your back body. You're kind of squatting into your legs, and you can feel that lumbar curve. Lift your chest up. Let's find that cow pose now, standing up. On your next exhale, start to tilt your pelvis, so you're tucking, I should say, tuck your pelvis, so you're rounding through the back body into the cat pose. Let's see if we can find that as our vinyasa, standing up. So you're moving through cow and cat. You're going to find a lot more movement of your pelvis here than you do when you're sitting. So this will feel different for sure, because we're standing up and you're going to feel the action of your pelvis so much more so. Full breath in, exhale it out. You need those longer breaths, don't you, so that you can really get into the pose. Last time, we'll medium cow pose. And then I want you to just straighten up all the way up. Make sure you get your feet nice and straight. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, we bow to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, circle sweep those arms. Let's take a little wider stance. Open up your feet a little wider. And now we're going to start swinging those arms. So the arms are just really loose. And I want you to lift a foot. So I'm swinging this way, my back foot has lifted, and then I swing and look the other way. So I want your shoulders and your head to turn the way your arms are swinging. It's very free flowing. So I'm breaking it down into pieces, and I don't want you to get all hung up on that. I think you'll naturally find this rhythm. Lifting one heel, you're turning away from that. Real loose flowing arms. But find as much twist in the torso as you can do. Twist at the waistline, twist. Find your breath. And you're turning your head. So if you're finding that, that makes you kind of dizzy, slow it way down so that you can just do it up one side at a time. So if you're getting dizzy turning your head, try slowing it way down. Now let's meet with our heel up. We've just found our twist. The leg that's got the heel up, use that same side arm to reach up. Let's get our other arm wrapped around the back. So I've got the back of my hand pressing into the back body. Lift up, look up if you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the length of your body from the fingertip all the way down the length of your arm, through your armpits, through this trunk of the body, down through that leg into the toes. I want you to breathe through this side of the body just for 2 or 3 breaths. Stay with it. And remember how we alternate our breaths. So we're just focusing as though this whole side of our body is doing all the breathing through this nostril, through this whole side of the body, as a way to recognize these alternate energies in our body. Right side, left side have very different energies that we want to honor and balance. Beautiful. Let's come back out and go back to the swinging action. Maybe you have to catch up with your breath. Who knows? Let's set it up the other side. Get your arm behind you. Press the back of the hand in. Reach up. Feel the length of this body all the way to the side of the body, all the way from the ball of the foot and toes, which are touching that ground, and all the way through the length of your leg, up through the armpit, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Breathe now through this side of the body. Find your breath coming in and out through this side of your body, the lengthened side. One more good breath like that. And come all the way down. All right, let's shake that out a little bit. Now I want you to draw your heels in and your toes out. So intentionally now, you're drawing those, and I want you to just find a bend. Let's see about bending. If your knees are having problems with this, skip it. You could maybe do just this micro bend, because if your knees are not liking this, I don't want you to try to bully your way into it. So just a little micro bend if for some reason this is not agreeable to your body. We're going to make our way into the goddess position now as we have our arms up in that bent elbow, palms facing forward. Now try your bends. And this is the shape of the goddess pose. But I want to be a dancing goddess. See if you can join me in that. So I want you to bend and straighten, but also You're allowing your body to turn and move and let your hips kind of swivel around. So it's a dancing goddess. Find your breath now. Feel your feet to the earth. Feel the strength of your legs. Dancing goddess. Keep your feet in this position now. See if you can drop into the bent knee a little bit more so elbows are at shoulder height. Inhale up, exhale back into that. Again, some of you may choose just a micro bend. The knees are barely bending, but you can do the upper body stuff. Let's pull the belly in for good measure. That pretty much always helps stabilize. Stabilizes the low back. Last time, we're going to go back to dancing just a bit. Moving the hips, moving your body. Beautiful. Lift up. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale all the way around. Good. Let's bring our feet together now. Your legs and feet are coming as close together as possible. I'm turning myself. You don't need to. I just want you to have a different angle. Legs are as close together as possible. Feet are straight. Take a moment to really allow yourself to come into your feet. You feel the strength of your ankles. You feel the strength of your feet. And maybe you can determine how close you need the chair. If you need the chair to be right by you, this is your time to kind of situate that. This is the circle of the knees. This is a way to get into this rotation through the knees, giving a wide range of lateral movement through the knees. So keep your gaze at the floor. You don't need to watch me do it. And just circle the knees. Notice what else is moving. Can you feel how in your ankles and your feet, you're also creating some circular movement there, strengthening, creating a nice, beautiful range of motion there. Let's deepen the breath, smooth it out. Keep your legs together, come all the way up. Now, legs together as we stand tall is more challenging. We have such a narrow base that you'll find this a balancing challenge. So take a moment, lift up the chest. And then when you come back to that little squat, to do the other way, we're going to circle the other way. Look out toward the floor in front of you. Don't need to look at the screen. So you're holding your neck and head in alignment with your spine. As we circle around the feet and ankles, and this lateral movement is circular action in the knees. Beautiful. Let's come up again. Straight, nice mountain pose. Inhale with me, palms come together. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down. See if you can keep your legs together. That's option one. Legs are together and we're in the chair position. So hands are at the heart in a prayer position. And this is a very upper level, if you will, version of the chair posture. Now, if you want another choice, separate your feet. Get your feet a little further apart. And if hands at the heart don't work, you could have your hands at your thighs. We're going to do a twist. So if you are able to participate in that, I'm going to go back to version one with my legs together. We're going to squat very deeply into that and rotate so elbow comes to the outside of the knee. So your elbows are just stacked apart from center. Can you feel that? Palms pressing, elbows extend away from center. Let's come back to center now, bringing our hands to the midline. Lift up. Just hold it there. We're going to try that twist on the other side. So whatever option you've chosen about how you're holding your legs, it's a deep squat. rotating so the elbow can come to the outside of your knees and thigh. Notice how you're turning your head and where your ear is facing. Pressing your palms together is kind of like it gives you something to hold on to. It's like an anchor. Unwind from that. Palms stay together. Oh boy, this takes balance. Lift up. Just hold it there. Can you keep your palms together while you separate your feet? Nice. Let's turn palms to face forward now. Slide those shoulder blades down the back body. And we're just going to move up and down with the arms. Let's get a micro bend in the knee so we're not locking the knees. And we're moving through the arms, right through the shoulder sockets. Nice long spine. Reach up. Let's go through our alphabet, shall we? Let's open up the arms in the Y shape. So I've got my mitten hands on and my fingers are joined together, thumb extended out. So there's the Y shape. And then how about the T? We're familiar with that, extending your arms straight out. Let's use this as an opportunity to turn and look. Moving into a position that gives us some idea of what our range of motion is in our neck. When you come back to center, let's create the W shape so the elbows bend towards your waistline. I want you to pull your hands back. You'll feel a back bend in the W shape. And then we're finally going to come into the L shape. So that brings your elbows into your waistline. Now, I want you to be near your chair. So in case you're not, be within a hand's distance of your chair because we're going to use the leg that's near the chair as a standing leg. And the other leg is going to lift up. So again, I'm moving. You don't need to. Here's what I mean. You're going to get your foot up off the floor. That knee is bent. But you're working toward lifting it higher and getting your foot further away from center. I should say further out in front of you. So that's what's happening with that leg. And the arms can be our sort of our balancing like they do on the high wire act as we lift that up. One hand can be on the chair though. That might be just the ticket. It's a range of movement. So you're just finding what's your particular range and ability of movement here. I'm turning, you don't need to turn. Both feet to the floor. Take a little breath there. Maybe your arms too. They got to get out of that L shape. You don't need to turn. I just want you to see this. When we come back to do some more work, let's just get one hand on the chair, one arm into that L shape. Same leg, we're doing the same movement, but let's bring that leg forward and back. I got another idea. Let's do something different with the arm. Let's bring our arm forward and let it help us swing our leg back. Forward and back. Bent knee moving forward and back. What are we working there? Yep, the glutes. Let's hold that. Back and then bring both feet to the floor. Let's shake that all out. I'm going to move my chair to the other side. You might not need two different side now. So our standing leg is near the chair. Let's go through the alphabet one more time. Why not? Inhale up. Find your breath coming in and out. Let's find that Y. Let's find that T. We'll go into the W. There's the back bend. And now we'll bring elbows to the waistline and we're in our L shape. So the other leg now, we're going to balance on one leg. Remember, the chair's right there. Lift that bent knee up and bring it back to the floor. So you're just going to play with that, lifting up and back to the ground. And every time you're just seeing if there's more available to you about extending it. If you're getting your foot up off the floor and doing a one-legged balance, but it's pretty consistently just coming off the floor, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great pose. Find your breath. Remember, we can always find good yoga practice, can't we? Because we know how to find the fullness of our breath. Last one, we'll hold it. Finish the exhale. Get arms down, get feet down. Maybe you got to do a little reset of the body. Let's do that final movement. Let's get a hand on the chair. Knee bent, foot forward, and let's get the arm to extend out. I'll give you that side view. You don't need to do anything different. And then you're pulling back. Keep your gaze straight ahead. Maybe you're even sort of looking down, but don't look at your legs. Keep your head held high. You don't need to tilt your head down and look at what's going on with your legs. Let's hold that backward, the back movement, pulling the foot back. We're going to hold that for another breath. Both feet to the floor. Shake that out. All right. Let's face the back side of your chair. So come to your chair where you're facing the back side of it. And we're going to do toes pose. That is simply, I want you to get up onto your toes. Get your heels up and roll your feet up into the toes and the balls of the feet. Maybe you just alternate one foot at a time. Maybe you'll get both heels up sometimes. Hold on to the chair, move toes pose now. Let's include one other thing. Heels drop, but we lift our toes up off the floor. The balls of the feet stay down, but you can lift your toes up. So include that in your movement. So we've got lifting up the heels and pressing into the balls of the feet and into the toes. We've got that. But also include heels down, balls of the feet stay down, but we pull our toes away from the floor. Stay with it. Keep breathing. Find the smoothness of your breath. Don't hold it. Feel your way through. This is where mindfulness really adds to this practice. Just paying attention to these sensations. Beautiful. All right. Right foot is going to step forward and left foot back. I want you to use your chair legs to guide you. So the foot that has stepped forward, the pinky edge of your foot is lined up with that chair leg, and the back leg, pinky side, that's lined up with that chair leg. So it's kind of like you've got your feet on railroad tracks. Now I want you to bring your chest down toward that backrest. Both legs stay straight. Make an imprint of your feet to the floor. Chest comes down, back body is flat. There's various ways you can hold on to the chair, but just bringing your body into a level position, a tabletop position, is a beautiful way to do this pose. If you're looking to deepen it, here's what I want you to do. The leg that's in front, take that side of your hip and buttocks and pull it back. Just stretch it back. Your foot stays down. You're still making that imprint, but you're just bringing your awareness into this side of the body, into that buttocks, and stretching it back. Your back leg is more or less a standing leg at this juncture. It's just holding you steady. Let's deepen the breath. Tabletop back, using the chair in any level of holding that you want to. But tabletop of the back body, and we're going to get into that hip by simply pulling the buttocks back on that front leg. Excellent. Now, let's come upright. Come all the way upright, those straight legs. Now I want you to bend both knees. So that means that back heel will pop up. Just bend both knees. Keep yourself facing the chair. Head is upright, just bending the knees and straightening. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. One more time. Let's shake it out. Shake out the legs, shake out the arms. Set yourself up for the other side. Other footsteps forward, back. Use your railroad tracks to keep yourself in a good alignment. I like the legs of the chair. They work well, but you got a different idea, go for it. Both legs are straight now. We're going to create that tabletop by bringing our chest bone toward the backrest of the chair. Tuck your chin in towards your throat, back of the head, neck, and spine. Now create that flat back of the tabletop. Good stretch, right? That front leg is feeling in a mighty good stretch. But if you want to deepen it, let's pull back through that side of the buttocks, that part of your hip. The back leg now is your standing leg. So how you're going to kind of keep working this pose is the front leg. Pulling back, maybe you even get your thumb right into the crease of the leg and help it along. Pull it back. Let's deepen the breath. Excellent. Let's come back up, all the way up, all the way up. Both legs are straight. Let's take a breath. If you need to shake, 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 be sure to do your adjustments. Next thing we're going to do when you're ready is the bent knee. So that back leg will have the heel pop up. Pretty much can't do it without it. So straightening and then bending. Straightening and bending the knees. Keep your hips square to the chair. Keep looking forward. Last time. And then let's shake that out. Let's finish it up where we began. So you've got a nice wide straddle with your legs and you've got your feet straight. And I want you to just start letting those arms just flow from side to side. You can feel your weight shift. And as you do so, you lift a heel up. Good time to really catch up and smooth out your breathing. Let's find that long, beautiful lengthening up. So the heel that's popped up, use that same arm to reach up. Let's wrap the arm around behind us now. That back arm is wrapped around. Lift up, look up. Breathe through this side of your body. Bring some awareness and respect and honor to this kind of energy that exists on this side of your body. When we release, we'll just flow with that. And move to the other side, lifting up, wrap your arm behind you. Heel pops up, lift up that same side arm, reach up, look up. Breathe now through this side of your body. Just acknowledging the energy shift. Now you benefit from that. Honor and respect for all of the energy of the body. The various ways that they support you. And come all the way down, and shake that out. All right, let's find our block. If you can find your block, please, we will come to this chair to sit. The block will be between the thighs. Now take a moment to balance yourself in the chair. You're not into the backrest. I want you to come forward. So you're not using the backrest for support right now. You're using the strength of your body, the strength of your core. Squeeze that block to give you the awareness of the adductor muscles. That's those inner thighs. So you can just have new awareness of the legs and how they let's employ those muscles. They might get, I bet for many of us, those are muscles that are forgotten about. We never seem to work them or try, even have any awareness of them. So just, because why is that any big deal? Why not? Well, because your hips need all of that. The structure of your legs and how it supports your hip movement and your knees, all of those muscles need to be properly employed so you got healthy joints. It's just that simple. Let's start with some shoulder rolls now. Hands are on the lap. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls. See if you can feel how the shoulder rolls affect your neck. So just, I want you, we're going to be moving into some awareness of that, how the neck and shoulders are so related. So the movement of these shoulder rolls, how's that feel in your neck? Let's change the direction of the shoulder roll. So now the shoulder blades will pull apart, whereas they were just drawing toward each other. Now they're separating. Keeping your arms as close to your side body as you can. You see me extending an arm out, extend it straight out, so you'll be on your right side. Let's bring that arm behind you. Other arm is going to lay right in front, just the same shape. We've got them both in the same shape. Press the back hand. I can hold on to the chair back there for me, so I'm kind of using both, a little bit of both, pressing my hand in, but I also got a real nifty little way to hold on to the chair. Now I want you to turn toward the front arm. Turn your head, keep your chin as level as you can. So your head is held as neutral as possible, and we're going to use our jaw line to kind of help us figure that out. The jaw line is parallel to the floor. We're pretty good about turning now. Turn your head, and then bring it to center. So that's the mindful movement I want you to practice. Is you turn, keeping your head neutral. You feel that movement through your neck, trying to go right to the full range of movement, and then come back to center. Take your time with this. Backhand is kind of pressing into the back body a bit, so it keeps your shoulders pinned. Both our shoulders are in the exact position we want them to be. They're in line with each other. Soften the mouth in case there's any tension there. Let's bring some awareness there. Relax your face, relax your tongue. We're going to meet looking straight ahead. Stay with this same side so your arms don't change. Actually, we are going to change the arms. Keep that back hand behind you. That's going to stay there. Let's release the other hand down. So we've got the weight of that arm, and we're going to tilt our ear toward that extended arm, down toward the floor. Now this one, I want you to just try to hang in there. There's going to be, I'm sure, some resetting and coming out of it, but see if you can just really allow, that you're going to tilt your head, let that arm be heavy and it's reaching toward the floor, and that kind of helps you deepen into that. And then take the breaks when you need to. Let's find the breath, because that's our best guide. If your breath starts getting difficult and choppy, that's your body telling you got to do something different here. But if you can keep it nice and smooth and cooperate with that breath, we'll see what we can do for the neck now. You got to really relax into it. This can't be done like a robot. It's got to be very soft and fluid. Good. And come back up. Now let's keep that arm behind us. That's just kind of staying right where it is. Take the other arm, reach it up. And now as you reach over, start turning at your waist, then your shoulders, and then the head and the neck. So we've got a nice twist. Grab hold of either your thigh, or maybe you've got some way to hold on to the chair over here. Keep your spine vertical now, lift up into this twist, and you're turning your head the way your head can turn. You're exploring your range of movement over here. Deepen your breath. Squeeze the block. Feel your feet making an imprint to the floor. Exhale completely. We'll unwind the head. Hold. Unwind the shoulders and the arms. I want you to open and close your hands. Move your hands around so you can feel that movement in your wrists. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. And let's set up for the other side. So let's just bring an arm behind us. Pull that back. That shoulder will be back. Lay your hand across your arm, across your low belly. So we've aligned the shoulders. And then keep your head neutral now as you turn to look the other way. And this, I want you to keep moving from looking back, looking to the side and back to center. So you're going to find a little rhythm of movement, turning and coming back to center. So you don't need to follow my lead, you're following your body's lead. So you can really pay attention to the sensation you're experiencing in your shoulders and neck. Pull the belly in. You want nice posture. You want to have a real strong, supportive base for this. Last time, we look over to the side and then we bring ourselves back to center. Same thing. We're going to keep that back arm just like it is, but let's release the other arm. Release the other arm so it is reaching toward the floor as you tilt your head in that direction. Your ear is tilted in the direction of that extended arm as it reaches toward the ground. Try to wait on this a little bit. It's no problem when you resituate yourself. So if you're making your adjustment, you come back up, that's no problem. But just know that we're going to see about waiting and finding our breath and trusting that this takes patience. It's just going to take some patience. Your exhale is your best friend. It always is, but really is here. Exhale it out. And then we're going to come back up. Let's lift that arm up. So it was reaching to the floor. We're going to reach it up now. This is where we start the twist. So as you start reaching over across, you start with the waistline, then the shoulders, and then you got a hold of your thigh or some part of the chair. You twist it to look in the opposite way into a beautiful twist through the spine. So a spinal twist here, keeping your spine vertical. Top of the head is still in line with the tailbone. Let's deepen the breath. See if you can feel those shoulder blades relax. Slide down the back. When you unwind its head first, we're going to pause here. And then come all the way out of it. And we're going to move the block underneath the chair. All right. Let's scoop up our left leg, get a hold of it underneath the thigh. And I want you to, we're back into the knee. I want you to just let your shin bone do some movement. So you're not moving through your ankle. I know we want to spin that ankle whenever we lift the foot up, but right now we're just going to spin. I'll make sure you know what I'm talking about, that you're letting that circle around. Change the direction of that movement. It's really the shin bones are doing this for you, and then that's creating a beautiful, continues with this beautiful lateral movement through the knee joint. And now we can grab hold of the shin and lift lift it up, and this is the time we can get into the ankle. Keep yourself squared in the chair. You feel the balance of your pelvis. Change the direction of that movement whenever you want to. Wake up the ankles. We're just continuing to offer opportunities to create synovial fluid. Now, option one, as we move into the hip, option one is going to be that we rotate that leg out and come all the way across. That's option one. If you want a different version that doesn't require quite so much movement, see if you can just bring your foot to the floor and let it meet the knee. So option one is this one that we're going to bring it all the way. So it takes us from an externally rotated hip to an internally rotated hip. You can do it this way too. Actually, if you're going to keep your foot down and so it's just stepping over, you might want to bring your standing leg a little wide off of center so you can get more movement. Okay, so let's go. We're just going from internal and external rotations now. Let's meet in that external rotation. So you've kind of created a right angle between your legs. Make sure your heel is right under your knee, so you're not too close. And then just orient yourself to face toward the front leg. And let's lift up. Press both feet to the floor. Let's find our W shape. So we bend those elbows and pull back, and there's a little back bend in there. Lift up and all the way down. Let's change sides now. So you start here. We're going to lift up the leg and start to move that knee. So we're going to just let the shin bones circle around. Smooth out your breathing. Let's change the direction. If you haven't done it yet, let's make sure we do both ways. Grab your shin now, hug your knee into your chest, pull it way up. And this is when you get a chance to move your foot around. Feel a snap and crackle going on in your ankle. And lots of the joints of the feet get a chance to. Beautiful. And then we're going to get into the hips. So that means you're either going to take that wide angle off and bring it all the way to cross, or you're going to keep your foot on the floor, maybe open it up a little bit more space there. So when you come over, you're getting a nice rotation inward. So this is this internal rotation of the hip, external rotation of the hip. I'm choosing to do it with a leg lift. So coming out to side and lifting it all the way up. Both of them work. It's just getting into the hip, finding nice rotation. Let's keep the upper body upright. Use your chair in any way you need to. So holding onto the chair seat or getting some anchor with that chair in any way you need to, go for it. We're going to meet in the external rotation. So draw it out, kind of center your other leg. It's like you've created a right angle here. I think that's pretty close. Make sure your heels and ankles are underneath knees. And let's lift up. Press your feet to make an imprint. Let's go to the T. We did the W last time. Let's move to the T here. So to rotate the arms so the thumbs can point back. Let's deepen the breath. Lift your chest with your breath. Now you want to feel movement and expansion into the chest cavity. All the way up. And let's get our legs back to center. Try a reset. I got to check the time for us here. Where are we? Okay, good shape. Let's open up our knees a little wider. When you're ready, I'm kind of rushing you, I know. When you're ready, let's just circle it out. Isn't that a great way to kind of settle? Let's just do our Sufi roll as we find that nice fluid movement. Now, if you are just still gung-ho and you want a lot of movement, you could do cat and cow here. And you come back, you round, and you open up the chest as you come forward. So if you're looking for more, that's one way you could do it. Otherwise, you're just moving and grooving as we start to move our way into Shavasana. Let's be sure to change the direction at least once while we're doing this. And start to notice your breath start to smooth itself out, catching up with your breathing. I'm not going to move us into Shavasana until we have done our perineum work, okay? Hands are on the thighs. We're going to bring ourselves into a half lift. So that means you're bringing your body into that diagonal line. Press your hands into your thighs. Now inhale, lift the perineum up off that chair. Hold it. Exhale, relax. Elbows, again, squeeze into the sides. Softness about the neck. You can hold it now. Work the perineum. Lift and hold. Use those inner thigh muscles. It's like the action that you have to use when you're squeezing the block. Use those inner thigh muscles to help lift the perineum up. Retention, remember how that's useful to remember that you lift and hold it. That's just going to add to it. It's just going to give you more toning, better toning, more strength where we want it. Stay with me. We're going to do it one more time and hold. Now hold, and now just find your breath as you're holding. You're finding your breath as you're holding. Let's extend the arms out in front of us. Let your breath be as your breath is now. Let your perineum relax back into the chair. Lift up. We're going to find our goddess. Elbows are bent, feet to the floor. Turn your toes to point away from center. Toes now have turned away from center, and you're in your goddess position. Press your feet to the floor like you're making an imprint there. And let's just finish it up with that pose. Lift up the chest, breathe in and breathe out. Palms and forearms come together. Can you bring your legs together now? And release and relax. Nice. Okay, so we're going to set up for Shavasana. So if you want to grab a second chair, you'll do that. Get yourself set up, because a lot of times elevating your legs is a nice relaxing way to come into Shavasana. I'm going to join you closer to the screen. I want you to stay with your ritual, your movement, as you wind down your practice. So be sure you're using breath practices that you have found useful. You know, if you're wanting that cleansing breath, I didn't invite it, but you know, that cleansing breath in through the nose and then you sigh that out. I hope you just add that. You just use the breath practices that you have found to be useful and that feel good. And then settle into the chair so you're really feeling the support of it. You're no longer trying to hold yourself in any particular way. You're trying to instead trust that your body weight is being secured by this chair and that you're able then to relax into that. Teaching ourselves to relax completely is part of the practice of yoga, because for many people, that's not a given. That's not something they can naturally arrive at. They struggle with that. It's very common that there's just so much pattern of going and doing and, guarding, that it's really hard to totally release and relax the body. But it's as important as anything else we do in yoga to learn how to change that pattern and allow yourself to be held and supported instead. So deepen the breath. Just you're slowing it down. And I'm a big fan of the mantra, so I'm going to offer that once again, that we use that breath in and the word out as we breathe out. So we are focused in our mind and focused in our breath, drawing it in and then out. Closing your eyes so you're just staying with your own inner view, your perspective from the inside out. And you just use a technique that allows you to stay focused in this very moment. Now, can you imagine that as you breathe out of your nose, that breath, that air that came out of your nose lands somewhere? It lands in front of your face. We're going to call that the still point. I want you to breathe in from the still point to the center of your head and breathe out to that still point right there in front of your face. So the breath has now been kind of shrunk into the space that surrounds your head, and it's in front of your face. But you can still have beautiful, long breath through that space. Just deepen it. It's deeper, I guess. Not so long, but deep. Relax your mouth. And you're breathing from the center of the forehead to the still point. And when I say the center of the forehead, I'm not on the top, I'm not at the face level, I'm not where you could touch your forehead. It's behind that, it's deep within your head. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in this way. Let your next exhale go all the way down to the center of your sternum. That's your chest bone. And then bring your inhale back to the center of your head. Exhale down to the sternum, center of your chest. Inhale back to the center of your head. So you have more space for the breath now. That's it. Keep your eyes closed. Feel that from the inside out. On your next exhale, let that exhale follow all the way down to the pubic bone. So you're below your navel at the pubic bone, and inhale all the way back up to the center of the head. More spaciousness of breath now. You can feel it in a broader sense. Pubic bone to the center of the head. Breathing in and out. All the way in. All the way out. And we'll finish this breath work with a full body expression. So the breath exhales all the way down to the soles of the feet and back up to the center of the head. Full body experience of your breath. Soles of the feet to the center of the head and back. Your heart can be trusted. Don't doubt it. It will inevitably connect you to what's true. Love yourself enough to trust what you know. Then stay connected to truth. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of the mouth, a cleansing breath now. So be sure to sigh that out. Another breath just like that. Cleansing breath. Feel it be just a source of release. And again, now inhale, expansion. Exhale, release. Excellent. So let's flutter the eyes open. Get your feet back to the floor. If you haven't done that yet, let's get our feet grounded. We're no longer relying on the backrest, so come forward enough that you're relying again on the upright position of your spine in right alignment. I like to use that phrase, right alignment, because it can influence us in so many ways. It's not just how we're holding the body, but it is part of that. So that's why I say it. I just like to keep us focused on how we can use our yoga to keep us in right alignment in a variety of ways. All right, my friends, let's sync up our breath one last time. Inhale as palms come together overhead. Exhale, we'll bow at our hearts. Inhale back up. And exhale, let's share this loving, peaceful energy of yoga with our communities. Thanks for being with me today. Thanks for joining me as always. Namaste, my friends.